and welcome back to HEB Park. Your Toros would like to thank all of you for joining us for tonight's match, featuring our opponents, Monterey Bay FC and your RGV FC Toros. For your own protection, the safety of fellow fans and the players, and in the spirit of good sportsmanship, the United Soccer League, RGV FC Toros, and HEB Park request that you refrain from yelling harmful slurs and throwing any objects onto the pitch. Such behavior may cause serious injury, and violators are subject to ejection from the premises, fine, and arrest. We also remind you that any spectator going onto the pitch unaccompanied by a staff member or interrupting play in any manner can be subject to ejection from the premises, fine, and arrest. A reminder that the use of video cameras is prohibited within HEB Park. Please take note of the exit signs. In case of an emergency, exit through the nearest marked emergency exit. When using the stairs, use handrails. If you notice something suspicious or out of place, please notify a member of our staff. Remember, if you see something, say something. We thank you for your cooperation and hope that you enjoy tonight's match. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our opponents, the starting 11 from Monterey Bay FC. They're led by captain, defender, number 2, Hugh Roberts II. In goal, number 16, Anthony Siana. Defenseman, number 3, Maury Donner. Defenseman, number 33, Kai Green. Midfielder, number 6, James Murphy. Midfielder, number 11, Walmer Martinez. Midfielder, number 13, Moby Fair. Midfielder, number 23, Sam Gleedle. Forward, number 10, Christian Woleski. Forward, number 15, Alex Dixon. Forward, number 31, Chase Boone. Monterey Bay FC head coach, Frank Gallup. The officials for tonight's match are referee Ricardo Fierro, assistant referee Albert Escobar, assistant referee Mark Novosel, and fourth official Edgar Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, the Monterey Bay FC.
spectacular on the attack for Rio Grande Valley. He's been really adept at finding himself in positions where he can either take that first touch and lead to his teammate having good opportunity, or perhaps just laying down the hammer and racing down the field to keep the attack going. Look for him to really be a focal point of what the Toros try to do offensively here as they look for that consistent attack. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at your starting lineups and your keys. This is the USL Championship on ESPN+.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow,
creating more jobs
and more opportunities for all of us.
working together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's Bank.
Sábado 18 de marzo llega al Valle de Texas el duelo de acordeones, celebrando su 30 aniversario. El grupo que vale lo que pesa. Pesados, Invasores de Nuevo León, los Cardenales de Nuevo León. Este 18 de marzo en el Bergen Arena de Edinburgh, Texas. Consigue tus boletos en bergenarena.com. Elite Entertainment.
Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's Bank.
Compassion International presents Casting Crowns, the Healer Tour.
We need the healer. We don't need another.
Casting Crowns, the Healer Tour. With special guests, We Are Messengers and Ben Fuller. Tickets are on sale now.
Rest in the arms of Jesus, come what may. I'm just a nobody. Trying to tell.
It's a night you'll be talking about all year long.
Welcome back out to HEB Park. Take a look at your starting lineups between Rio Grande Valley and Monterey Bay Union. Couple of interesting looks at the lineup here for Monterey Bay. They're going to come out in the 3-3-4. Now, what's interesting about that attack is it's going to give them quite a bit of firepower up front, and that should be quite interesting as we look to see what Monterey Bay does with that attack. Captain in this one will be the experienced Hugh McRoberts, playing there on the back line. On the other side for the Toros of Rio Grande Valley, they'll be in the 4-4-2, again stacking up their defense and their midfield to really kind of control the pace of play. Captain in this one for the Toros is U.S. national teamman Jose Torres. Plenty of caps as a member of the international team for the United States, and he'll bring that experience here to the Toros again as he gets his second start as the team captain. Take a look at your keys for this matchup. A couple of big things to point out here for the Toros. It's going to be about their ability to finish and create some consistency in their ability to finish. Can they press the ball high? Can they create some chances? Look for them to find opportunities for nice set pieces and capitalization on those set pieces. On the other side for Monterey Bay, it's all about what they can do to feed that ball. And they've got two key guys they can really be successful in that regard with, in Kai Green and James Murphy, that allow them to control what they're doing in the midfield and perhaps keep the Toros away from those quick counter scoring opportunities. Worth mentioning, Kai Green and James Murphy, former Rio Grande Valley Toros. So return home to HEB Park for those two gentlemen. Both teams have been announced, taking those pregame pictures. Look at your starting nine there. Tyler Derrick in the black kit, starting in goal for the Toros. On the other side in goal will be Anthony Saiha. You see him right there, number 16. All 6'5" of him. And Mario Saiha is an interesting story for Monterey Bay because not only is he 6'5", but he is someone who does some phenomenal things in goal.
Yeah, he's just, with the size that he has, you're not going to get any goals over his head. That's for sure. but he's a very good and athletic goalie. I'm excited to be up here to get an opportunity to watch him. He has 8 clean sheets and 17 appearances in last year at a 73% save rate. So he's pretty tough to get those goals through him.
Toros will look for an opportunity to do just that, as that's been the story for the Toros here in the early going of the season. 2 games in, they've scored a goal in each of those. And though this is a Toros team that's known for their ability to play some really good defense, they've yet to allow those 1-goal performances to stand up for a victory. Back to action we go to start this one up. Over the ball, there is Kai Green for Monterey Bay, and he's going to send that all the way to the back line. And here comes the counter for Monterey Bay. James Murphy's going to send that one wide. Just kept in. They'll continue the attack. That's pushed forward there by Fair. Here's Monterey Bay in the midfield. Monterey Bay, of course, in the white kits. Toros in the blue tops, white shorts. Monterey Bay tries to bring that one to the near side. Goes a little bit too far and travels out. Throw in coming now for Rio Grande Valley.
And this is the 3rd time that they meet in their history, with the Toros up 2-0 on it. And last year they won a big game at the end of the season where the Toros needed it to get into the playoffs. So you know that Monterey Bay will be very motivated to come in here and get in the win column.
Lots of pressure there for Monterey Bay as they take that throw in away. There's Fair pushing it forward now toward the box. Takes a strike that's going to be deflected up off of Nodarse. The possession will stay with Monterey Bay. They get it to Boone there, far left. Here's a look at Dixon. He's had himself quite a start to the year. Tries to find James Murphy. Ends up playing a little too harshly off of his foot. Toros will send that forward. Francois can't run it down, though. It's going to go out. Throw in coming now for Monterey Bay. Mentioned a moment ago, Alex Dixon had a spectacular start to the season, Mario. Hat trick in the opener.
In the opener, and you know what? That is the first hat trick in the history of Monterey Bay soccer.
Toros take that one and send it back all the way to Tyler Derrick. And come back up the near side. Robert Coronado off to the races, trying to push the pace here for Rio Grande Valley. Toros are going to touch that one back. That's Ricky Ruiz. Captain Torres, Nodarse. Here's Akwe coming up the near side. Pushes that one forward. Jonathan Ricketts. Nice defense here by Monterey Bay of sticking right with the Toros and not giving them room to bring that ball forward. Ricketts back in toward the middle. Here's Jose Torres. Another look at Coronado there on the far side. Tries to put a boot into that. Will be deflected out. We'll have our first corner of this match for the Toros. Looks like that's going to be taken by Wilmer Andres Cabrera. Look at Robert Coronado there. Been pretty active here in the early going, racing down the field to try to build those counters for Rio Grande Valley. Here's the corner for Cabrera, sent in low. Ricketts tries to put a boot on that. It's going to be cleared momentarily by Monterey Bay. We're ending up back at the foot of Ricky Ruiz. Pressure still mounting here for the Toros. Ricketts at the top. Little touch there for Cabrera. Tries to find Francois. Nice job of slipping in and breaking that up from Kai Green. One more opportunity here for the Toros. That carries high and out. Goal kick coming forward now for Monterey Bay.
You already mentioned Ricketts and Ruiz on a couple of occasions, and there are the 2 that have scored this season for the Toros.
A couple of nice touches here for Monterey Bay on the backside. Lots of pressure from the Toros. Looked like Monterey Bay may have something built there. They found Maury Donner. He plays that a little too heavily off of his foot and out. Akwe in the middle for Rio Grande Valley. He's got Ricketts to his right. Akwe again toward the back. They'll play it back to Pimentel in the middle. Eric Pimentel is a really quality center back for Rio Grande Valley. Lots of experience in the Mexican leagues. Come over here and has been a real intricate part of what the Toros do defensively. Very physical defender. You see it there. They're not afraid to play through him because he's not somebody you're just going to gently bump off the ball.
Not Pimentel, that's for sure.
That one out off of Monterey Bay. Another corner coming for Rio Grande Valley. Looks like Wilmer Andres Cabrera is going to take this one.
Corner kick.
Jose Torres instead takes it. It's headed momentarily by Pimentel or being cleared out by Monterey Bay. Ricky Ruiz at the back is going to center that to Coronado. Torres really being really deliberate with the ball in this one, spending a lot of time setting the counter. See here, they're going to play it all the way back to Tyler Derrick once again. Aqua's going to send this one forward, looking for Francois. He's off to the races. That's played a little bit too far out. Ceja gets that one, sends it back the other way for Monterey Bay. There's Alex Dixon playing it back in toward the middle, finds Humick Roberts. Monterey Bay tries to play this one back, perhaps a little too softly to Kai Green. He'll boot that one forward. Lots of pressure here from the Toros. Monterey Bay breaks it for the moment, though. Here's the Toros trying to build their counter in the midfield. Aqua is going to come forward from his defensive position. Got Ricketts here on the far side. That was last touch, looks like by Rio Grande Valley. Aqua is trying to make the argument that that was deflected away by Monterey Bay. Official says no, we're going back the other way. So throw in coming now from Monterey Bay.
John, Coach Cabrera was talking about this game, how important it is. And you take a look at the replay. He talked about that they have to be able to handle the pressure. Felt that in the other games they did well, but they just were not able to finish. They had a lot of opportunities.
Monterey Bay tries to bring that one forward. Tyler Davila does a nice job of hanging with them. That's deflected off of him. Another throw-in coming from Monterey Bay. Well, to your point, Mario, I think that's been a big part of what we've seen in the early going of the season for Rio Grande Valley. They've had some opportunities. They've not been able to finish in those key moments, and give a credit to their opponents defensively, as both Las Vegas and Oakland did a nice job of applying a pressure in those key moments, preventing the Toros from just really finding comfort in toward the box. Toros tried to bring that one forward, a little too hardly touched. Going to carry out, throw in now for Monterey Bay.
And that's what happens. I mean, it's not only that, you know, it's just the team. Sometimes they have good defense.
Pimentel steps forward and gets that one to Francois. He's tripped up. Looks like we're going to get a foul and a quick card.
I call that yellow card from up here, Brian.
Yeah, it looked like he earned that the hard way.
Going back to Coach Cabrera, he was saying, you know, it's only the third game, but they only have 2 points. But he wants 3 out of this one. He wants to have 5, which means, you know, you try to get 50%. If you get 50% of your games, you get the points. As you take a look at the replay, obvious tripping, then you might have a good opportunity of making the playoffs. You don't want to be 3 games here and not get too many points. So this is a big one game, and Coach Cabrera has put the pressure on his team.
That yellow card issued to the veteran, Humick Roberts. He's a name around the USL you know quite well. 7th all-time in games played, 3rd all-time in minutes played. Picks up the yellow here. Jose Torres puts that one in. Nice quick boot
there it is.
In. Ricky Ruiz. Beautiful touch from Jose Torres. And he's able to put that one in. Well, hold on just a moment. I think they're going to wave that goal off.
I hear somebody, the announcer, going crazy.
Yeah, I think they're going to wave that goal off. They're going to say the Toros were offside.
That's the only thing they can say.
So perhaps somebody had stepped too far forward when Torres sent that really nice cross to Ricky Ruiz, who was on the very high side of the box there. Took a really nice strike. But no goal to account for here. Monterey Bay dodges a pretty big attack there from Rio Grande Valley. Nice touch from Jose Torres, finished by Ricky Ruiz, but taken off the board. Monterey Bay will now build the counter off of that attack.
Well, at least the announcer, the game announcer here at HEB Park had at least a practice on his goal call.
Played a little too aggressive there by Monterey Bay and out, so we'll get a Toros throw in. Jonathan Ricketts will take it here. Pimentel fans on that first kick. Gets it a second time with his left foot, but puts it out. Throw in now for Monterey Bay. And if you're Coach Wilmer Cabrera, having that goal taken off is really going to sting. This is a team that has played really good defensively all season long. Now, granted, the season is still a little bit early. But goals have been what's hard for them to find. And when you can get a strike in the first 10 minutes, that can be a tone setter for a team like Rio Grande Valley. Not the case here early, though. What a touch here by Monterey Bay. Strike! And what a score. Christian Valesky slips that one into a fantastic spot, takes a strike, and they may wave this one off as well. So both Rio Grande Valley and Monterey Bay have had some really nice strikes. That one taken off by offside, so 2 offside calls early have taken 2 goals off of the board.
So the officials are playing a really important role here early. Look like 2 nice goals, but taken away because offsides.
There's a nice touch for Rio Grande Valley, trying to find Cabrera deep. He ends up out-dueling Donner to get to the ball. Looking for a soft touch there, but that's just going to be deflected out by Donner. Throw in coming now for Rio Grande Valley. Like Robert Coronado is going to take this one. It's that one into Cabrera. It's Coronado looking for someone to cross to in the middle. We'll end up having to send that back. No Darce. Brewers are going to flip the field here. Touch there by Ricketts, trying to send that one forward. It's going to be broken up by Monterey Bay. It's James Murphy in the middle. Alex Dixon working his way around, finds Gleedle. Little pressure there from Francois will force them to send it all the way back. Saiha. Comes Monterey Bay. James Murphy again in the middle. Burroughs keeping numbers back defensively. They're not giving up a lot of space for that long pass. There's a little bit of a touch to Chase Boone. Boone tries to put a boot on that. Deflected off of Pimentel and out. Deep throw in here for Monterey Bay. Looks like Sam Gleedle will take this one. It's Kai Green from the back line. Monterey Bay playing pretty high here defensively. Green's going to step forward, tries to slip that one through. Here come the Toros looking for the counter. Cabrera's got a head of steam. Can they get it to him? Try to send that down, but it's going to be broken up by McRoberts. Here comes Monterey Bay. Kai Green working on the back line. Going to send it back over to McRoberts. Monterey Bay is just trying to find a comfortable passing lane to move this one forward. There's some room to operate. James Murphy with the one touch. And no Darce is there, plays it back to Tyler Derrick in goal for UTR or for RGV.
You can see what happens when James Murphy gets the ball. He's so dangerous, so smart. That pass he just made almost made something happen.
And extremely quick, you see there. He knew what was happening before that ball even made it to him. Here's Francois with the one touch looking for Ricketts. That's going to be booted away by Moby Fair for Monterey Bay. There's Taylor Davila. Torres into the middle. Ricky Ruiz trying to weave through traffic. Ruiz with a strike just wide right. We've seen Ruiz can go from a good distance. He's got a really nice strike from outside of the box. He didn't miss that by much. That was just wide right.
And you can tell he was disappointed in himself. He had a golden opportunity. You take a look at him, he's still a little disappointed. Sometimes these opportunities don't come often, but he had one right there.
So 2 pretty good opportunities for Rio Grande Valley come for naught. Sliding strike there for Valesky. Didn't quite get enough on it, though, so Tyler Derrick will collect that off of the turf. Here come the Toros. Pimentel play that back to Tyler Derrick. Not a lot of pressure here from Monterey Bay on Derrick. A little bit of a surprise, especially given their firepower. Gonna allow Derrick to play that one forward. Gonna be deflected out.
You know, and Derrick as a goalie, I mean, I don't think 80% save percentage is something to brag about, but that's exactly what Monterey knows coming into this game, and they want to get their opportunities to challenge Tyler Derrick. Giving up 2 goals, and he has 8 saves coming into this game.
And the defense for the Toros has done a nice job of keeping Tyler Derrick out of really challenging situations. The 2 goals Derrick has allowed, one of those being an own goal that he really couldn't do much with in the opener. Davila 1 touch here for Francois. Tries to turn the corner on McRoberts. Robert stands pretty tall. That's deflected out, so Francois is going to get the throw in. Davila is going to play that into the middle. Here's the captain, Torres. He takes a strike. That is high and left. Goal kick now for Monterey Bay. Play that short to McRoberts. James Murphy taps that back to the back line again. Real deliberate action right here for Monterey Bay. Not really pushing the pace, not going long, settling for those nice, sharp, short passes into the midfield. Chase Boone trying to find some room to operate. Here comes Monterey Bay at a pretty good pace, coming up the far side.
You know, it almost looks like Monterey Bay has been playing this first 17 minutes in just a defensive mode, just checking out to see what the Toros are capable of doing, just sitting back and playing it easy, really attacking.
James Murphy with the soft touch, looking over for Kai Green. I think you make a great point there, Mario. These 2 teams really look like they're spending the first part of this opening half just kind of feeling each other out, what's possible. Tyler Derrick comes out, picks that one out of the air and off to the races the other way, looking for Christian Francois. McRoberts is there. Ricky Ruiz steps forward. Here's something for RGV. Nice touch there for Francois. Didn't quite get enough on it. End up being picked up by Saiha.
And you know, number 2, McRoberts up here looks really good on the defensive side. He's a veteran. You can see why he led in clearance in 2022. He had 124 clearances. He's really tough to get through.
And that veteran leadership does a lot for this defense for Monterey Bay. I think Robert's a big part of that. Feels like he just kind of has a nose for where the attack's coming from and can beat the ball to the spot. We've already seen it here in the early going. Does a nice job of being physical once he gets to that spot and ensures that the attack for the Toros does not build into a dangerous spot. Akwe tries to slip this one forward, looking for Cabrera. Played kind of gently off the head of Kai Green before that one is collected. Here's Fair in the midfield. Green again to the back line. Nice little one-touch right here from Monterey Bay to stay out of that pressure in the midfield from the Toros. Played to the near side here. Sam Gleedle, he'll have to play it back. There's Alex Dixon. Monterey Bay tries to slip that one through, but it's going to end up being picked off by Rio Grande Valley. Swimmer Andres Cabrera steps forward, ends up drawing a foul as well as he's knocked down. So free kick coming here for Rio Grande Valley. Darcy sends that forward to Coronado on the far side. There's Akwe coming forward from the back line. Got Ricketts to his right. Tries to slip that one through, but it's going to be broken up by Chase Boone. James Murphy with a nice little touch pass there. Here's something for Rio Grande Valley. Cabrera, a little heel touch, trying to keep that one back. Here's Ricky Ruiz. Ruiz tries to chip that one, looking for Francois. McRoberts will head it out. Corner number 3 coming for Rio Grande Valley.
You take a look at the replay. I like the Cabrera's decision there. He had an opportunity to try to get a goal, but he stopped and made a pass back, and I think he put the Toros in a better situation by not attacking. He shouldn't have attacked. The defense was waiting for him.
And remember, that was a really nice little chip. McRoberts is 6'5", and he's every inch of that on the back line. He's able to get up there and get that away. If that gets past McRoberts, Christian Francois is in a really nice spot to put a touch on that. There's the corner from Torres. Booted out by Monterey Bay. And they've got some numbers building here if they can get it forward. There's Sam Gleedle. Tries to get a chip. That's going to be deflected by Ricky Ruiz. Akwe countering back the other way.
Boy, nothing gets over the head of McRoberts. If that would have been over his head, it would have been dangerous.
It's quite a luxury to have a defender of McRoberts' skill that goes 6'5". They take up a lot of space in those aerial duels or just taking the ball away before it can get to the leg of a forward. Roberts plays this one forward. That's Boone. Monterey Bay is going to flip the field here. Nice little touch. Here's something building from Monterey Bay. Back into the middle. Tapped out. James Murphy. Kick there from Donner. Headed by Akwe, but that's down to the foot of Walmer Martinez. Partially deflected and out. Corner coming now from Monterey Bay, their first of this match. Tyler Derrick having a conversation with his defenders, Akwe and Pimentel. Appreciates their effort, as you can see, with that pat on the back.
That was their best opportunity right there.
If Akwe's foot doesn't get down, I don't know that Tyler Derrick was in a spot to even see that attack. That was probably in the back of the net. James Murphy, the set-piece master for Monterey Bay, is going to take this one. There's the corner. It's going to be headed away by Rio Grande Valley and out. Another corner coming. Worth mentioning, James Murphy led Monterey Bay with 5 assists last season. That's why he takes these corners. He's so adept at those placements. Christian Volsky there on the far side. Monterey Bay is going to try to bring this one back to the center. Gleedle. Tapped away for the moment by Rio Grande Valley, but picked back up again by Monterey Bay. Little chip there is going to carry far right. That'll be out. Goal kick coming now for Tyler Derrick and the Rio Grande Valley Toros. 24 minutes into this opening half. Still scoreless. Akwe with the touch to Ricketts. He'll send this one deep, looking for Francois. I think he's going to find him there. Gleedle misplayed that off his head a little bit. Here's Francois. He's outnumbered. Taps that back to Davila. Davila coming forward, slips through. This could be an opportunity. Davila deflected by the keepers. Fantastic job by Anthony Sahev coming out, cutting off the angle for Taylor Davila, and just not giving him room to put a touch on there.
Yeah, he had a great opportunity right here. You take a look at the replay. Good decision.
You see how wide he gets. He
Good
gets
save.
low and gets really wide, just not giving Taylor Davila any room to operate. But then what worked by Davila to work through the defenders and get himself in a position to try to take that strike?
That was an excellent decision on his part, and then you feel good about your opportunities. And here comes the goalie, Taiha.
Throw in now for Rio Grande Valley. That one comes in to Jose Torres. There's Ricketts on the far side. He's got Francois ahead of him to his right. There's Francois. Cutting back in toward the middle. Comes right, Francois. Nice cutback. Looking for someone to chip to. McRoberts will head that away. Davila takes a strike. Saha steps in and boots that one out. Another throw in coming for Rio Grande Valley. Anthony Saha's had a couple of challenges here in the last couple of moments. Here's Christian Francois off the throw in.
And in the last opportunity, Taylor Davila, I mean, he had a great chance at it. Take a look at the replay, but he hit it right to the middle, but he made it work for that. Anytime you get a goalie off his feet, you know he had to work for it.
A foul called against Rio Grande Valley. It's going to lead to a free kick right here. McRoberts takes it for Monterey Bay.
Both teams came into this game with a lot of fouls called on them, but today it's been kind of quiet. I'm sure as the game goes on, we'll start seeing a lot more fouls.
Walmer Martinez is going to play that back for Monterey Bay. McRoberts into the middle. Obi Fair tries to send that one forward. A little more pressure defensively here in the midfield for Rio Grande Valley. Touch looking for Sam Gledo. They're going to find him here on the far side. Looks like we'll have a foul against Monterey Bay. Correction, that must have been out because it's thrown in by Jonathan Ricketts. Taylor Davila draws a foul there as he's kind of pulled and drugged by Chase Boone. But here's the free kick for Rio Grande Valley. Back to Akwe. No Darce on the far side. Coronado. Toros tried to send that one forward to Cabrera, but guess who? Hugh McRoberts steps up, gets a clearance out.
Don't matter what side of the field, he's on all over the place.
Ricky Ruiz has it for a moment. It's going to clear it back for the Toros. Here's Ricketts on the near side. Toros looking for some room to operate here, slipping that through to Davila. Here's Francois. Going one-on-one with some work here. Tries to chip that one toward the middle. Going to be intercepted by Monterey Bay. And here's something. Jose Torres takes a strike. That sends it right toward the keeper. The Toros have had a couple of good opportunities here. They are firing. Just have not been able to slip one past just yet. That one is sent forward from Monterey Bay, but a little too far. It'll go out. Throw in coming now for Rio Grande Valley. Here's Cabrera. He gets bumped, stays on his feet though. Second opportunity. Back over to Coronado on the far side. He'll chip in toward the middle. McRoberts heads it away. Going to carry out Coronado to throw in. Ricky Ruiz trying to weave through traffic, looking for a cross. Almost finds Francois, but again, Anthony Saha steps forward, slides in, and breaks that passing lane up. Another look right here from Ruiz. And that was placed really nicely for Francois. But alas, he cannot get there. The defense standing up tall for Monterey Bay.
You have to believe that Coach Cabrera is happy with so far the aggressive nature of the Toros. Just haven't scored. They have a stoppage in play. But story of the game on the defensive side, McRoberts and Sai, man, they're just going to be tough to get a goal through.
Like we'll have a foul on Rio Grande Valley, so a free kick here from Monterey Bay. Here's McRoberts near the middle. Gets that one to Chase Boone. And Gleedle on the near side. Tries to weave in toward the middle. There's Boone, turns a corner, looking for someone he can find in toward the middle. They'll just have to turn the field over. There's Maury Donner off to the races coming forward. Looking for the cross. Davila boots that one away. Sliding opportunity, but it's taken away by Rio Grande Valley. We're going to get a foul here, I think. Torres and Fair going nose to nose for a moment. Words exchanged. I think that foul is going to go on Fair, so a free kick coming for Rio Grande Valley. Jose Torres saying that he grabs me by my neck. See a sliding tackle there by Fair, perhaps a little late coming to it. Torres gets there, and I think that's where they take issue.
That's it right there. Good call on your part.
In a different game of football, that would be a horse collar, grabbing him by the back of their jersey and pulling him there.
That'd be a big 15-yarder, huh? In American football.
There's Coronado in toward the middle for Ricky Ruiz. Lots of pressure here from Monterey Bay on Ruiz, and he sticks with it for a good little bit here before it's taken away by McRoberts. There's some pressure from Jose Torres. They're going to force Monterey Bay to really play this one around. That is almost misplayed. In fact, Saha just has to come forward and boot that away because there were Toros running.
And he's talking to himself like, what did I just do? That was a little dangerous. I think he was better off just securing the ball.
They'll say deflected off of a Toro, so you see Maury Donner with the throw in there. Roberts playing forward now. Nice little boot forward by Fair, trying to find the edge here for Monterey Bay. Akwe runs it down with pressure. Pimentel with the heavy boot back toward the midfield. That one does slip through. It's a race to the edge. That's Francois that gets there. He's got a lot of pressure on him. No foul called. It's Kai Green, very physical with Francois, able to keep it off of his feet.
I think that was a good no call. Bender was going for the ball.
There's Taylor Davila slowing the pace down for the Toros. Jose Torres is going to send it back the other way. It's Coronado on the far side. Back and forth with Coronado and Nodarce. And we're going to get a foul here and probably a card, yep. As Wilmer Andres Cabrera gets folded up as he tries to establish position. Yellow card does come out. Looks like that's going to go against Moby Fair. Then look at the replay and see what happens here. Oh yeah, right under him. Fair just being really aggressive with that sliding tackle and plays completely on the body of Cabrera, nowhere near the ball.
And sometimes you look at that, there's no need for that, but it's just maybe just sending a message. We're going to be physical, we're going to make you earn it.
Cabrera and Torres over the ball, two-person wall directly in front of them. Ruiz with the chip. Perhaps just a little too far, does not make contact with Nodarce or Akwe, who were in the vicinity. comes the quick counter for Monterey Bay. Counter back in toward the middle. Sliding tackle there from Torres. Going to be successful. No foul call. Ricky Ruiz. He's got Cabrera in front of him. Francois to his right. Touch to Cabrera. Trying to look for Ruiz with the heel touch. It's going to be taken away by Kai Green. Foul called there on Coronado. Free kick coming here for Monterey Bay. A couple of former Toros on this Monterey Bay squad. Kai Green, James Murphy, and a player we haven't seen yet on the evening, Grant Robinson. A bit of a homecoming for those three gentlemen back to HEB Park here. Murphy and Green have already made their presence known on their return.
I wonder if the weather has anything to do with the move, because I understand Monterey Bay area, California, real beautiful area, as is the Rio Grande Valley, but it's a little hot down here. A little fresher over there for them.
Well, this defense has remained pretty fresh for Monterey Bay here early on. They've been up to the challenge. There's Gleedle on the near side. He's going to have to work back against some pressure from Jonathan Ricketts. Gleedle still has it. He'll end up clearing it all the way back to Saiha.
I think that happened because McRoberts was giving him the signal to just go ahead and send it to our goalie and let's regroup and let's see what we can get out of it.
Stay away from that pressure of Jonathan Ricketts. We'll talk at halftime about what an early start to the season Ricketts has had. He really received an acknowledgement this week of all of his hard effort. Here's a through ball for Monterey Bay. Perhaps one too many touches in the box, though, there that ends up at the foot of Taylor Davila. Toros trying to get that one forward to Christian Francois, but it's placed too close to the line. Ends up going out. You see Francois giving thumbs up to his teammate. He had some room to operate if that had stayed in.
I don't know if it was thumbs up or he was telling him, hey, you didn't put it where I needed it. I think he smelled the goal.
Good look at Monterey Bay head coach Frank Yallop. He's got quite a story, over 500 matches as a manager. Significant time in the MLS. In fact, he won MLS Coach of the Year twice in his career in 2001 and 2012. Now in his second season with Monterey Bay, he's been their head coach in both of their seasons. Looks like he may have his team in tip-top shape to be a real challenger in the USL Championship this year. Monterey Bay missed the playoffs last year.
Out this coach has, with those 500 matches as a manager, probably has Hall of Fame credentials.
I've seen a little bit of everything. Here's the throw in for Monterey Bay. Gleedle. James Murphy again trying to set the attack. Lots of pressure here from Taylor Davila. Gleedle and Murphy going back and forth to try to stretch Davila a little bit. Toros do end up taking that one away. They'll clear it back to Derek in goal. It's Akwe. Very deliberate passing here for Rio Grande Valley. Pimentel's going to send a long one forward, though. Here's Cabrera off of the touch. He's got some room to operate. Sends that one to Coronado on the far side. Torres in the middle. Pimentel's going to flip the field to Ricketts here. Ricketts looking for a cross. Puts that one up. Since that perhaps a little bit too far in, the keeper can just come out and jump on that. Toros have had a couple of nice opportunities early. That defense for Monterey Bay has really clamped down of late. They have not had nearly as many nice opportunities toward the box over the last 10 minutes of play.
It does look like most of the action is on the Toro side. They've had a lot of opportunities. They've been in control of the ball a lot more than Monterey.
Should be interesting to look at time of possession when we get to halftime, because it feels like the Toros have really been standing over the ball quite a bit more than Monterey Bay has. It's a pretty good spot. Slip through for Monterey Bay. Strike just a little bit too far left. That was placed nicely to the foot of Walmer Martinez. He does not have a lot of room to operate. Tyler Derrick does a nice job of coming out and cutting down the angle. Get another look here.
And yes, Derrick cuts the angle, and there's no way it cost him to kick it out.
Just could not quite get enough bend to get that around Tyler Derrick. Ruiz trying to go back and forth with Francois. He sends it deep. Francois comes up shallow, so that's going to end up just rolling all the way back to the keeper.
A little miscommunication between both of them. And that's going to happen early in the season.
In the middle there is Alex Dixon.
So, Brian, you've been calling these games here for the last couple of years?
I have. This will be third year with the Toros. The Toros have gone to back-to-back playoff appearances under Wilmer Cabrera over the last 2 seasons, looking for a third straight trip to the USL Championship playoffs. 3 points on the evening could go a long way to help that. Toros still undefeated on the year, as I mentioned in the opener, after drawing against Las Vegas and Oakland to open the season.
So who are some of the players that stand out for you from the Toros past?
You know, I think when you look at what the Toros have done, they've done a nice job of really building young talent to be major parts of their attack as the season continues. You've got some nice mixing experience there. Jose Torres, Eric Pimentel. You see Akwe really come into his own. Ricky Ruiz coming up from USL League One. Jonathan Ricketts coming up from USL League One. In fact, they were teammates with the Chattanooga Red Wolves. We're coming up to the championship and the Toros last season, and you see what a big part Ricketts and Ruiz have already been of the attack.
Yeah, they do seem to know each other.
There's Ruiz looking for No Darce. He works around some defenders there. If he can get across, this could be a good spot for Rio Grande Valley. There's Coronado in the middle. Pimentel on the backside. Back to Akwe. Cabrera coming forward. He may get a strike out of this. Cabrera with a nice kick. Just a little bit wide right. Goal kick coming now for Monterey Bay.
Bet you Cabrera would like to have that one back.
Looking for his first goal of the year. That was a pretty good spot. Looked like he might have caught that off the inside of his toe. That's why it carries so sharply left.
But one thing is shots, you know. But one other thing is they didn't have a chance to get through the net.
Kai Green on the back line. Little pressure there from Ricky Ruiz. Monterey Bay is going to play it back. Now in the 43rd minute. I think Roberts is going to send that one pretty deep. Pimentel able to corral that in for Rio Grande Valley. There's Taylor Davila in the midfield. Francois on the near side, trying to work around the defenders. Keeps the ball at his feet. What a job of dribbling there by Christian Francois. Before Monterey Bay ends up clearing it away. Sam Gledo's got some room to operate here. This is a good run for Monterey Bay. Trying to find it back in toward the middle. Little collision there. Are we going to get a foul? I think we will. So that one's going to go against Robert Coronado. He got tied up with Alex Dixon. Ends up drawing the foul. So free kick coming here for Monterey Bay in a pretty good spot.
And maybe that was a good thing Coronado did that, because it looked like there was an opportunity for Monterey Bay to get something going.
And lots of collision there. I don't think there was any intent from Coronado. He got there and just tried to get as wide as he could, and his legs get wrapped up with Alex Dixon.
So far, a pretty clean game as far as penalties and all that. It hasn't really played a factor.
So we approach the 45th minute of action. James Murphy taking the set piece here for Monterey Bay. That's a beautiful chip. Going to be headed away by the Toros for a second and then off the head of Velasquez for Monterey Bay. Looks like we're not going to have any stoppage time added to the first half, so closing seconds here.
You know, and Green was there. I was just going to make a comment that I was wondering when Green would have an opportunity to get a goal, and man, he looks so dangerous.
Gets played back. Here's some pressure from Monterey Bay. Tyler Derrick just has to boot that away. Puts that one about 10 rows up in the stands. And that's going to do it here in the first half. The two defenses come out and show what they're made of, show of their mettle here. No score, although both Rio Grande Valley and Monterey Bay had some good opportunities. Nothing in the back of the net. We will step aside and we come back. It is halftime here from Edinburgh, Texas on ESPN+.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Sábado 18 de marzo llega al Valle de Texas el duelo de acordeones. Celebrando su 30 aniversario, el grupo que vale lo que pesa. Pesados, Invasores de Nuevo León, los Cardenales de Nuevo León. Este 18 de marzo en el Berghain Arena de Edinburgh, Texas. Consigue tus boletos en berghainarena.com. Elite Entertainment.
Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Compassion International presents Casting Crowns, the Healer Tour.
We need the healer. We don't need another.
Casting Crowns, the Healer Tour. With special guests, We Are Messengers and Ben Fuller. Tickets are on sale now.
I rest in the arms of Jesus, come what may. I'm just a nobody. Trying to tell
It's a night you'll be talking about all year long.
Welcome back out to HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. Special thanks to our halftime sponsor, Live Oak Vodka, the official vodka sponsor of the Rio Grande Valley Toros. Take a moment to tell you about some of the other wonderful partners of the USL.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Lots to be excited about as we enter week 3 across the USL. A couple of performances that really stand out that we'll talk about here at halftime as we talk about our USL Team of the Week from week number 2. Player of the Week selected from this one is the gentleman you see right there. Pittsburgh Riverhounds forward Albert Dikwa is selected as the championship player of the week. Now in his 7th season in the USL Championship, 25-year-old from Cameroon broke off what may be his best performance of his career, picking up a hat trick. 3 goals last week in their 3-1 victory over Memphis 901. He did that on just 4 total shots. Worth mentioning, that is back-to-back weeks in the USL where there was a hat trick after Alec Dixon did the same for Monterey Bay in week number 1. Another name that may stand out for you from that team of the week, Rio Grande Valley's own Jonathan Ricketts, who scored the opening goal for the Toros in their 1-1 draw with Oakland Roots. Also had a stellar job defensively, winning 10 of his 12 duels and 2 of his 3 aerial duels to secure another draw for Rio Grande Valley and keep them undefeated on the season. Also some time to look at your power rankings across the USL. A couple of changes up at the top. San Antonio FC, who was the preseason favorite to win the USL Championship, drops to number 3 in the power ranking standings. Top 5 are Louisville City, San Diego Loyal, the aforementioned San Antonio FC, Sacramento Republic, and the Birmingham Legion. Further down on the list, Rio Grande Valley's up 2 spots. They find themselves now in 14th, about the mid-range across the USL. Monterey Bay slips down to 12th place across the USL in their power rankings. Take a look at the games in action on the evening. You know what's going on right here between Rio Grande Valley and Monterey Bay. The other game in action is taking place out in Pittsburgh right now. Miami has the 1-0 lead over Pittsburgh in that one. So major ramifications in the early going regarding the outcome of those 2 games. Full slate of games tomorrow evening as well across the USL. Take a look at your schedules for Monterey Bay and Rio Grande Valley coming up. We'll start with the visiting Monterey Bay. They've got quite a schedule ahead of them. Powerhouse San Antonio on April 1st. They're at home. They'll also host New Mexico United. Then they'll hit the road for 2 at Phoenix Rising and at Indy 11 before they'll see the Toros once again, this time out in Monterey Bay, California on April 29th. Here's what the schedule for the Toros will look like. As they've been home for their first 3, they're going to be on the road moving forward. April 1st at Detroit City, the 15th at Pittsburgh. They'll come home to face Memphis 901 for that matchup with Monterey Bay, and then they will get New Mexico United here at HEB Park on the 5th. Thinking further about what that means overall, let's look at our standings in Group West as we currently sit up at the top. San Diego Loyal has been nothing short of spectacular to start the season. They've got all 6 points in their first 2 matchups. San Antonio FC still in the hunt, along with Colorado Springs and the Sacramento Republic. To move all the way down the standings, a couple of teams still looking for their first win in Orange County, Oakland, Phoenix, and the El Paso Locomotive. We're going to step aside when we come back. We'll take a look at your stats and highlights from the opening half. This is USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Sábado 18 de marzo llega al Valle de Texas el duelo de acordeones. Celebrando su 30 aniversario, el grupo que vale lo que pesa. Pesados, Invasores de Nuevo León, los Cardenales de Nuevo León. Este 18 de marzo en el Berogden Arena de Edinburgh, Texas. Consigue tus boletos en berogdenarena.com. Elite Entertainment.
Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's Bank.
Compassion International presents Casting Crowns, the Healer Tour.
We need the healer. We don't need another.
Casting Crowns, the Healer Tour. With special guests, We Are Messengers and Ben Fuller. Tickets are on sale now.
I rest in the arms of Jesus, come what may. I'm just a nobody. Trying to tell.
It's a night you'll be talking about all year long.
Welcome back out to beautiful Edinburgh, Texas. Alongside Mario Reina, I'm Brian Smith. We are scoreless at the half between Rio Grande Valley and Monterey Bay. Take a look at your highlights from the opening half. And there was plenty of action offensively, although no goals to talk about. Ricky Ruiz, really aggressive early on, takes a strike there. And he misses just right. Taylor Davila slips one through, but a spectacular job by Ceja keeps him from finding the back of the net. Davila again takes another strike. Just could not find that net. Jose Torres had a pretty good look at one. Monterey Bay was tested pretty well defensively there. Tyler Derrick had a real nice challenge there from Wilmer Martinez, but cuts the angle off. You see Wilmer Andres Cabrera had another nice opportunity, but with his right foot pushes it just a little bit too far left. So shots were not few and far between. Plenty of shots on both sides, but these defenses really showed their mettle, dug deep, Mario.
Yeah, they did, and we talked about the keys of the game, and they came, for the Rio Grande Valley Toros about creating opportunities, except they had their chances, as we saw in the replays, but they were not able to finish. And that's how we started. We said finish. So Coach Cabrera has to be happy about that, and on the other side, not too many opportunities for Monterey Bay.
The stats tell an interesting story as well. Look at your first half stats. We approach the end of our halftime here. These two teams really went kind of toe-to-toe. Toros had the advantage in time of possession, 67% to 33%. They're actually out shooting Monterey Bay by a pretty wide margin as well. But as they say, the numbers don't really matter beyond the numbers you see on the scoreboard, and that is where we haven't seen a lot of separation in this one, as the Toros and Monterey Bay find themselves at 0-0. We'll be back to action in just a few minutes, but it gives us a chance to talk about what we expect to see here in the second half. And as you said, Mario, one of the focuses on both sides was about being able to be consistent in their offensive attack. I think both coaches are going to be pretty happy with what they've had going defensively, but the offense is really the question here. What do you think we need to see from both sides to end up not sitting at a scoreless draw?
Well, it's going to be weird what I want to tell you, but you didn't have any extra time on the stoppage play, right? So I think they got to get a little bit more aggressive. I mean, they were just playing nice with each other. I think that's going to pick up a little bit, and that might make the difference. Who really is going to get more physical here? And, the Toros just need to continue to play the way they are, and hopefully they will be able to get that goal in there. The defense on McRoberts has been totally awesome. To me, he'd be the defensive player of the game without a doubt. And, of course, who knows, the adjustments on the Monterey Bay side, what are they going to do to adjust to see how they can create opportunities?
Good look at the Toros coming out of the locker room here. Ricky Ruiz getting stretched out there, getting his hips ready for what's been a pretty good season for him. He's been a powerhouse at drawing fouls for Rio Grande Valley. See if he has another strong performance here in the second half. As you look at Taylor Davila as well. You talked about being physical, Matteo, and I think that's one thing that's a great point to talk about here. There were 2 yellows issued in the first half. Those went against McRoberts and Fair. So a couple of cards have been issued to Monterey Bay in this one. But can they find ways to be aggressive without drawing the cards? Because the card can be a very interesting problem to have. Monterey Bay knows this quite well. As their last time out, they ended up playing one man up. against Louisville City. Louisville City ended up playing with just 10 men for the last couple of minutes of that matchup, but Monterey Bay could not get the breakthrough for falling just short 1-0 there. So they know the difference that can happen when you have to play a man down. But can they get aggressive and prevent the Toros from having the high number of shots we saw in the first half? Plenty of shots by Rio Grande Valley, just not the finish they were looking for necessarily. Both teams back out here taking the field, counting off to make sure we have 11 to start this one.
I don't think Monterey Bay is going to sit as much as they did in the first half. I think you're going to see them come out a little bit more aggressive, and I see them trying to score more often.
Rio Grande Valley will start with the action here. Here's Cabrera right down the middle. Davila tries to step forward. There's quite a bit of contact here. They'll say no foul, however. Here comes the counter for Monterey Bay. Here's Donner trying to play back and forth. Kai Green ends up with it. And then here's McRoberts. Long boot from him. That's going to travel all the way to Tyler Derrick. He'll boot back the other way. A little keeper-to-keeper boot action here. Monterey Bay is just going to roll this one out to McRoberts.
So where did you hear that? I like that call. Keeper-to-keeper.
Came with it on the fly. That one's going to be booted out there by Rio Grande Valley. Jonathan Ricketts just stepped forward and slipped that one wide. Sam Gleedle with the throw in. That's going to be headed out. Throw in now for Rio Grande Valley, Jonathan Ricketts. Correction, he'll lay that off for Eric Pimentel. Here's Ricketts for the Toros. Bit of pressure here from Monterey Bay. Toros able to slip that into the middle. Davila looking for Ruiz. Can't get there. Donner cuts that off. Here's McRoberts once again. James Murphy slipping back from his attacking middle position. That one is going to be chipped through. I think we're going to get a foul here. Indeed we are. That'll be a foul against the Toros. So a free kick coming now. See Eric Pimentel, a little too aggressive there. Ends up wrapped up and tied. Restart coming here for Monterey Bay. Here's Donner. Quite a bit of pressure from Ruiz. He's able to get that away. Monterey Bay trying to come forward. That's going to be intercepted by Francois. Toros trying to send that back the other way. Davila, a little bit of a sloppy pass there. It allows for Martinez to just step up and build the counter now for Monterey Bay. There's Kai Green. Monterey Bay just working back and forth against the pressure here from Rio Grande Valley. Green to Donner. Donner trying to slip that one forward. Pimentel gets a good sliding tackle, but it ends up back at the feet of Donner. Here's a through ball for Monterey Bay. Gleedle slows it down. Looking for the touch there. Strike to the foot of Boone. Tyler Derrick comes out and immediately races that one back up the field.
He kicked it to McRoberts, which you don't want to do.
Another opportunity for Monterey Bay working back in toward the middle. That's going to be deflected off of the official. They blow that one dead. We'll get a free kick here for Monterey Bay. Got to bring it back to the point of contact. Be a drop ball right to the feet of James Murphy. Here's Kai Green. Coronado applying some pressure here. Monterey Bay able to split the pressure. And as Walmer Martinez tries to chip that back in toward the middle, it's going to be deflected out off of Robert Coronado. seen Monterey Bay spend a lot more time standing over the ball here in the second half than they were in the first. That one slips past Nodarse. Here's an opportunity for Monterey Bay. Alex Dixon ends up just having to deflect that off of Pimentel. They're going to say that was off of Dixon. I think he thought he put that off of Pimentel. I see him shaking his head.
He is. He's questioning, like, what happened?
Tyler Jarrett says, nothing to question here. Let's get this ball back on the play.
No replay here, is there?
Not in those situations.
Are they? Do we have replays?
In a couple limited situations, you can get it if the coach calls for it. No need for it here, though. The official saw what he needed to see. There's McRoberts on the far left side. Going to clear that one, looking for Donner. Lots of contact between Donner and Coronado. Toros will end up with it with Ricky Ruiz standing over it. He gets taken down to the pitch. They are going to call a foul. That's what Ricky Ruiz is just so good at that. We talk about it. It seems like at least once every matchup here, his ability just to match up with a defender to get to that ball and to make things, and another look at that hard contact. Coronado goes flying. Ricky Ruiz just does a great job of getting to balls and then forcing the opponent to play through him. Because of that, he draws a tremendous number of fouls, and it puts the Toros in nice positions to build free kick counters. Touch here for Francois. It's going to be headed away by Monterey Bay. Aquay steps forward to apply the pressure. Attack continues here for Rio Grande Valley. It's Jose Torres. All the way to the back line to Pimentel, and he's going to clear it back to Tyler Derrick. Toros find Nodarse. He'll come back toward the middle. Trying to slip that one through.
The ref trying to play or what?
That's twice now. Two different attacks broken up by the official where the cross ends up hitting the official instead of moving forward. Jose Torres tries to send that one forward looking for Coronado. Races it down, but he's the one to touch it out, so we'll get a really deep throw in here for Monterey Bay. Deep in their own defensive third. Now in the 52nd minute, still scoreless between Rio Grande Valley and Monterey Bay. A couple of Toros collide with each other here. But two Toros down as they collided. One of those is Ricky Ruiz, the other one is Eric Pimentel. You see it here challenging on the ball. And Pimentel comes in hot and ends up just colliding very aggressively there with Ricky Ruiz.
Here early on, 7 minutes into this second half, it does look like Monterey Bay looks a little bit more like a different team than they were in the first half. They look more active. So we'll see if that continues, that trend.
The training staff taking a look at Ricky Ruiz there. Just a really hard fought play there as Ricky Ruiz was up under the arms of Walmore Martinez trying to challenge on that counter, and Eric Pimentel, who by nature is a very physical and very aggressive defender, comes in with a lot of force. I think trying to put a nice challenge on Martinez and bump him off the ball, but ends up handing more of that contact to Ruiz than to Martinez. Good sign there. Ricky Ruiz back up on his feet. Looks like they're going to send him off for a moment. First significant injury stoppage we've had so far in this one. As we mentioned during halftime, no added time in the first half. Like we may get some here in the second half with Ruiz being down for a moment. There's the throw in for Monterey Bay. They'll try to rebuild their attack. Ricky Ruiz now back out on the pitch after being pulled off for a moment. What touches there from Monterey Bay as they try to maintain possession. Get that to the foot of Alex Dixon. He tries to clear to the far side. And Ruiz, who just checked back in, already mixed up in that play, almost gets the interception. Monterey Bay will retain possession. Here's Dixon coming up on the far side. Lots of contact between he and Nodarcy. Nodarcy is going to get the foul, and he'll pick up a card here. First card on the Toros in this one. And Nodarcy gets that card because he interrupts what was going to be a pretty good attack from Monterey Bay here. It's one thing to play the ball. It's something else to play the player.
Yeah, and sometimes they do that, and that's a smart play, to be honest with you. Because if he gets around there, who knows what happens.
So Dulce earns the booking, picks up the yellow here. See Walma Martinez and James Murphy over the ball now for Monterey Bay.
Murphy handles all the free kicks and corner kicks and everything else.
He is their set piece master because he's such an adept passer. Has phenomenal touch with that right foot. There's the chip from Murphy. It ends up being touched by Walma Martinez, but he gets it more off of his shoulder than off of the head, so that gently carries out. No real challenge against Tyler Derrick. Darcy now to Coronado. Coronado's going to clear that forward now for Rio Grande Valley. Monterey Bay at their back line. Here's Green. Back to McRoberts. Monterey Bay's going to clear that all the way back to the keeper. Here's some pressure from Rio Grande Valley. I think that's the third time now that we've seen Anthony Saiha, play a ball a little loosely there, and the pressure from the Toros forces him to very quickly have to clear it away.
That was not a good play by Saiha.
There's Coronado to the left, slips it into the middle. Ruiz could not make contact there, so Monterey Bay will have it. Here's a pretty quick counter for Monterey Bay. It's going to be a race. Tyler Derrick will get there first and put a nice boot on it. Ruiz trying to challenge on the aerial duel. He's going to draw a foul. As Ruiz is taken down to the pitch once again. A look at the replay here. Kai Green was climbing up the back.
No wonder he jumped real high.
It's like Kai Green's going to get a little bit of admonishment here from the official. Rio Grande Valley is going to get a free kick in another prime spot.
And that's a second hard hit on Reese this half, so that might be sending him a message that he was doing real well in the first half. Playing with his mind.
Jose Torres and Wilmer Andres Cabrera in position to take this kick. To be taken by Cabrera to Davila. Davila's going to chip. I think he was looking for Cabrera there, but he loses his footing. Ends up falling to the turf. That one will carry out. Goal kick coming now from Monterey Bay. Play that one to McRoberts. I think Monterey Bay's played through McRoberts quite a bit in this one. Some real confidence in his ability to make good decisions under pressure. Tyler Derrick boots this one forward for the Toros. Davila sends that one to Coronado on the near side. He's looking for Cabrera and finds him. And Cabrera tries to come forward. That's going to be booted out. They'll say off of the Toros, as Green apparently played that off of Cabrera. Deep throwing now for Donner. Toros continue to apply quite a bit of pressure with their speed here in the second half. Just throw in for Monterey Bay. Jose Torres and James Murphy mixed up there. They'll say that was off of Murphy. Here's Ricky Ruiz, quick to action. Torres with the cross, headed away by McRoberts. Monterey Bay weaving their way back and forth on that back line. Saiha has to clear that one deep. Headed by Pimentel for a moment. Now the Toros have it. Akwe on the back line. Sends that one forward to Ruiz. One touch with his foot to Coronado. Back to Ruiz. This could be something for the Toros. Green and Ruiz going one-on-one here. Ruiz trying to weave his way through some defenders. That's deflected out off of Walmer Martinez. And again, Ricky Ruiz takes a hard shot from Walmer Martinez right here on the near side. It's going to be a foul on Martinez.
And that's the third time already that Ruiz has gotten a foul on.
Ricky Ruiz takes his fair share of shots. And it's a byproduct of just what a crafty midfielder he is. He does a nice job of beating his opponents to the ball, and once he's there, he creates enough space that he's the one controlling. We said before, he forces defenders to play through his body to get to that ball, and that's why he draws so many fouls. Side effect of that, you also take some pretty vicious hits in the process. You see Ruiz's teammates trying to stretch him out a little bit. He's been put through the ringer here in the second half. Ruiz back to his feet, stretching just a little bit here. Free kick coming for Rio Grande Valley. And Jose Torres and Wilmer Andres Cabrera in position to take this. Jose Torres puts a really nice chip into this one. It's going to be headed away by McRoberts, though. Monterey Bay trying to build a counter back the other way. Now here's something developing here. That's a nice job playing through. That one slips through. Opportunity here for Alex Dixon, and he buries it. What a performance there. Alex Dixon had the hat trick in the opener and out-duels Tyler Derrick on a beautiful long counter. Monterey Bay's got the lead now at 1-0, and that is just a spectacular job when being forced to play one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah, he had to make a decision, or to stay back or try to get to the ball, and he just didn't get to the ball. And that's soccer. How many opportunities? They haven't had many, but when they did, they took it.
Split decision there by Alex Dixon. He's got Tyler Derrick closing in on him. And just look at this touch. Gets it right around Derrick, and then he's just one-on-one with the net and then doesn't do too much with it. Nice job of maintaining your pace and then just very gently putting enough on that heel to slip that one in, because once you're past Derrick, there's no one to challenge you. Monterey Bay coming out firing on all cylinders offensively here in the second half. They've got the 1-0 lead. Here's Rio Grande Valley. Coronado gets that one to Ruiz. Looking for Coronado again, or Walmo Martinez will just boot that one away. Corner coming now for Rio Grande Valley. Looks like Wilmer Andres Cabrera is going to take this one. Worth mentioning, this could be Monterey Bay's first victory against Rio Grande Valley. They played twice last season. Toros came out victorious in both of those. One at home and one on the road. Corner goes a little bit too far, headed out by the Toros. So goal kick coming now from Monterey Bay. In no major rush here for Monterey Bay. They've got the 1-0 lead, so they can be very deliberate what they're doing with the ball here. Although they have been the aggressor in the second half. It felt like it was all Toros in the first half. Monterey Bay definitely changing the dynamic here in the second half with that aggressive play. Here's Dixon with the ball. Finds Chase Boone. It's taken away by Ricketts. Here's Francois for Rio Grande Valley. And Gleedle just steps into that pass. Able to boot it deep, looking for Saiha. Here's Francois again. A little touch here for Taylor Davila. Wilmer Andres Cabrera into the middle. There's Ricky Ruiz, one touching for Coronado. Coronado bouncing ball in the box. Toros wanted a foul called there in the box. They don't get it. That will be out off of Monterey Bay. Throw in for Rio Grande Valley.
That's exactly what the Toros need to do. They just need to continue to be aggressive like they were in the first half. And maybe this time they can get themselves their first goal.
Here's the cross sent over for Rio Grande Valley. Saiha does a nice job of coming out, plucking that one out of the air. Opportunities exist for Rio Grande Valley. They have not been able to put one in the back of the net. Fewer opportunities for Monterey Bay, but they have been tactically very strong. A spectacular dribble by Alex Dixon leads to the only goal we've had in this one just a few moments ago. Monterey Bay up 1-0. Here's Ricky Ruiz building something for Rio Grande Valley. He's got some room, weaves around a defender, sends that one in. Another spectacular job in net, though, for Anthony Saiha. Takes up some space and ends up deflecting that one away. Corner coming now for Rio Grande Valley.
At the very least, the shot was on target.
Another look right here. Nice job of just working around his defenders. Tries to slip it through the wickets on Saiha, but he reads that really well, closes in on it. Davila with a strike. Saiha goes full leap. Did he touch it? They'll say he did. Another corner coming now for Rio Grande Valley. Toros not being quiet now. They gave up the goal, but they have been really aggressive the last couple of minutes. Back-to-back strikes from Ruiz and Davila have now put a tremendous amount of pressure on Monterey Bay. Jose Torres to take this corner. Here's the corner from Torres. Chips that one to the box. Headed out and away by Christian Volsky. Monterey Bay with another strong counter here if they can get it through. Misplay just a little bit here, and here comes Rio Grande Valley back the other way. Christian Francois on the far side, working back toward the middle. Looking for a cross. Not a lot of room to operate here for Francois. He'll have to pull it back. That one will be touched out off of Monterey Bay. Throw in now for the Toros. Aquay on the back line. Darce with the touch into the middle. Here's the captain, Jose Torres. Davila moving back in toward the middle. Soft touch into Wilmer Andres Cabrera. There's Coronado with an opportunity crossing in the middle. And Humick Roberts will boot that one out. Another corner coming now for Rio Grande Valley. Jose Torres will take it. Substitution coming in for this one. So the Toros are going to send correction, that substitution is going to be for Monterey Bay. As Walmo Martinez comes out and Jason Johnson comes in. Johnson's got some real heavy experience. Spent some time with the Jamaican national team. Also played in the MLS with the Houston Dynamo. He comes in. Adrian Rebollar also coming in for Monterey Bay up 1-0. Rebollar, the other Monterey Bay player to score. 4 goals on the season right now for Alex Dixon, a hat trick in the opener and 1 tonight. Rebollar had the goal last time out for Monterey Bay. Nice head for Rio Grande Valley, but cannot slip it past Saiha. He's been doing a spectacular job in goal for Monterey Bay in this one. Nice heavy boot here to get that to midfield. Donner working forward now for Monterey Bay. Misplayed, however, by Rebollar. And Ricky Ruiz gets absolutely pummeled again. Going to lead to a foul. We may get another booking. Indeed, we will. Yellow is going to be issued here, and a red. Oh, that's the second yellow on Fair, so that's why he gets the red. 2 yellows becomes a red. Get a look here. There's the throw in. Here's Ricky Ruiz. And Fair plays through his body. So now Monterey Bay is going to play a man down for the next 20 or so minutes, as that was the second yellow issued to Moby Fair.
And it was not necessary. I mean, it just looks like they were going to come out and attack Reese. So now with 10 players, you can bet, you know now they're just going to be focusing a lot on defense.
Darcy Pimentel in the back for Rio Grande Valley. Toro's up a man, but can they make that lead to some better scoring opportunities? Akwe coming forward from the backside to be an attacker here. That one is deflected off of Monterey Bay. There was a Monterey Bay player down for a minute after the ball was deflected off of him, so the official blows it dead. We'll get a drop ball here. You see the Toros weren't happy with that.
Wouldn't be either, because it looked like they were ready to create some opportunity.
Coronado on the far side. Here's Darcy back in toward the middle. Toro stretching back and forth here, trying to find a passing lane toward the box. Turn the field over here. Cabrera tries to slide that one in. A little heavy touch to Francois. Francois with a strike, but just a little bit wide left. Was it deflected? Official says no, so goal kick coming now for Monterey Bay. And Francois had some room to operate there, but could not quite find the angle he was looking for. Here comes the goal kick for Monterey Bay. Now in the 73rd minute, they lead Rio Grande Valley 1-0. Really nice boot here. That's going to come all the way back to Akwe on the back line. Little pressure here. That one gets through by Rebollar. Tries to slip that one into Dixon. After some pressure, Toros do come away with it. Here's Akwe on the far side. Long boot here looking for Francois. McRoberts is going to put a head on that first, however. We'll get a foul against Monterey Bay, though, as Jonathan Ricketts makes some pretty good contact and falls to the ground. Free kick here. There's Jose Torres coming forward for Rio Grande Valley. Counter now for Monterey Bay. Little misplay here. This could be something. Ricky Ruiz weaving through. Chip just a little bit wide left. Oh, that was a prime opportunity for Rio Grande Valley, but the defensive pressure was just enough to prevent Ricky Ruiz from being able to put that on net. It carries just to the left.
How many more missed opportunities for the Toros? That was close.
We'll look at the replay here. It's Ruiz. Just a little bit too much of that. He was trying to lift it over the top of the keeper and just get that gentle chip. Long goal kick here Get a foul here against Rio Grande Valley. It's going to go against Ricketts. A little contact with Chase Boone. Going to lead to a free kick here for Monterey Bay. James Murphy will take this set piece. Plays that to Boone. Boone trying to weave through traffic. Here's Dixon. Boone sticking with it. That one will end up rolling out off of Monterey Bay. Goal kick for Rio Grande Valley. We'll very quickly move to the other side of the pitch. Here's Robert Coronado. Wilmer Andres Cabrera. Coronado sends that back to the middle. That's the captain, Jose Torres. He'll flip the field over to Christian Francois. Francois trying to weave through traffic. That's taken away by Gleedle, and he'll just boot it back upfield. It does go out, though, so throw in coming now for Rio Grande Valley. Davila trying to put that one on. A little too hard, a little too wide. Goal kick now for Monterey Bay. Opportunities have been there for Rio Grande Valley. They've just not been able to find that finish in the final third. It's something
what you talked about, Ryan. Consistency.
Wilmer Cabrera has talked about it all season early on. He says there's plenty of talent on this roster. They get plenty of opportunities. They just haven't had the finishes they've been looking for. Ricky Ruiz trying to finish here, slips that one through to Wilmer Andres Cabrera. He can't get there. 2 Toros go down. No fouls called here. Monterey Bay continues to just be phenomenal defensively in that final third. Toros had 2 good looks at goal there. Neither one resulted in a shot on goal. That one is.
No, that's a game of soccer. The Toros should be in the lead, but it doesn't matter. It goes back to the scoreboard.
Like we're going to get a substitution here.
Now checking in for the Toros, number 18.
As Duilio Herrera is going to come in, Frank Nodarce coming out. On the other side, it's like we're going to get Jesus Enriquez in for Monterey Bay. Coming out will be Alex Dixon. He is the goal scorer in this one.
You're thinking, why are you going to take somebody that has 4 goals already? But early in the season, his endurance might not really be. He probably requested to get out because you're not going to take a player of his caliber out.
Player that comes in from Monterey Bay, Jesus Enriquez, another former Toro. He was with Rio Grande Valley in 2018 and 2019. Had quite a spectacular end to his season last year as he scored in back-to-back home games to secure a playoff berth for Monterey Bay. Looking to continue that hot start in 2023 off of that great end to 2022. Ricky Ruiz back in toward the middle for Rio Grande Valley. Here's Jose Torres. Ricketts on the far side. There's Francois trying to work around his defender. Able to work through him. We're going to get a foul, and that's going to go against Francois. He gets wrapped up with the defender on that far side. That the recently checked in Jason Johnson. And they'll end up calling the foul on Francois. You see the look on his face there. He thought he was fouled prior. Official says no. Free kick coming now for Monterey Bay.
It's all about the good acting.
Long boot here for Monterey Bay toward midfield. Headed by Pimentel. Then sent straight up in the air by James Murphy in the midfield. Murphy chips this one forward. Pimentel with the head. Coronado with room to operate. This is Herrera. Julio Herrera soft touch here. Wilmer Andres Cabrera back in the middle. Ricky Ruiz trying to work around the edge, looking for a cross. Pretty good cross there, looking for Francois. Can't make anything toward net on that. Jonathan Ricketts on the far side. Chips back in toward the middle, looking for Wilmer Andres Cabrera. I believe that was going to be last touched by Monterey Bay. So another corner. Corner number 7 here for Rio Grande Valley. Jose Torres will take it. Now in the 81st minute. And there from Akwe, a little bit high, a little bit too hard. Goal kick coming now for Saiha and Monterey Bay. Another look here, pretty good cross off the corner from Jose Torres. And I think give some credit to Hugh McRoberts there. He was right on the body of Akwe, prevented him from really being able to drive with his head. Ends up just kind of floating it out. There's the goal kick from Monterey Bay. That carries really well. Coronado puts a head on it. Herrera to Torres. Jonathan Ricketts now on the far side. It's Francois. Ricketts looking for a cross here. He'll pull it down. Akwe puts a pretty good strike into this one. Carries a little bit long. Duilio Herrera's going to get there. Ruiz soft touch into Jose Torres. Torres tries to cut it back across the face. Strike! But a little bit wide from Jonathan Ricketts. Story of the match right now for Rio Grande Valley. Just a little bit wide on those strikes.
When they come back and review this play, they're just going to, it's unexplainable. Things are not happening right now. It could be because it's early season. These are goals that might happen as the season goes by.
Here's the goal kick from Saiha, headed by Pimentel. Headed twice by Pimentel, in fact. And it's about the foot of Chase Boone. He's got some room to operate if he can slip it through here. Soft touch off to Jason Johnson coming in toward the middle. That's up being pulled off the feet of Rebolar. Rio Grande Valley out racing the other way. Here's Christian Francois with a head of steam. Looking to chip across to Herrera. He doesn't get there. Lots of physical play on the side. They'll say that's off of Rio Grande Valley. Throw in coming now from Monterey Bay. Throw in carries a little bit too far. Eric Pimentel gets to it. Francois looking for somewhere to move with the ball here. Taps that back in toward the middle. Here's Jose Torres, takes a strike. Again, the keeper, right place, right time, Anthony Saiha.
He's been busy tonight.
Torres has some room, takes a really good strike, puts it right on the keeper. 84th minute now. Here's an opportunity for Rio Grande Valley. Cabrera, there's a strike, partially blocked, second strike. Little bit too high and wide again for Christian Francois. The Toros want a corner off of this. They'll say that's deflected. The official says, no, it's not. That's off of Rio Grande Valley. He's calling for a goal kick here. We'll look at the replay. Cabrera just about gets that one in. Second opportunity here for Francois. That looks like it's been deflected. Another angle here. Carries well. Francois comes in. That sure looks like it's off the leg of Saiha, who's coming to slide in to cut the angle off. Francois with his hands out to his side.
That's a huge call because we're at the 84th minute. 6 more minutes and probably about 4 or 5 minutes on stoppage time.
Some more pressure for Rio Grande Valley. Cabrera taken down to the turf. He's going to get a free kick off of this. No, they're going to keep play on, as the Toros had it. There's Akwe coming forward, attacking from the back line. Ricketts tries to get a chip here. That's off the leg of Jason Johnson and out. Throw in coming. Going to blow this one dead so we can get a substitution. Alex Lada is going to come in to replace Adrian Rebolad.
Substitution for Monterey Bay FC. Now checking in number 4, Alex Lada.
Correction, James Murphy will come out, not Rebolad.
Number 4, Lada.
So Alex Lada for James Murphy here in the 86th minute. Lada, the 6'1" defender out of Azusa, California. First season with Monterey Bay, came over from the Las Vegas Lights. Also has some prior USL experience with Hartford. Torres will play that back in the middle to Jose Torres. Got Coronado to his left. That's deflected up and off of Monterey Bay. Here comes another counter here. It's Chase Boone sending it deep, looking for Jason Johnson. He's going to have him there. Peeling back is Jesus Enriquez. Johnson is just going to safely play this back even further. Rebolad with it. Taken away by Coronado. Coronado with a nice big boot trying to find Francois deep. He does reach him. He's got Hugh McRoberts right on his hip. And McRoberts does a nice job of playing that down and off of Francois. Deep throw in coming now.
What a tremendous defensive game by McRoberts.
And he makes it look so easily too. Part of that's because he's just so long at 6'5". You see him toe-to-toe with Francois there, and Francois is really hustling. And it looks like McRoberts is just so gracefully kind of gliding over there.
2, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 7.
That one booted to about midfield. A couple of heads there before it's taken down to the feet of Duilio Herrera. Coronado coming forward for the Toros. Got Herrera to his left. He'll play it back to Jose Torres instead. There's Francois back toward the middle. Jose Torres. Here's Herrera again. Duilio Herrera trying to find the corner. Chips that one across the face. Strike and a little bit high once again. The opportunities are building for Rio Grande Valley, but they cannot get a clean strike. Wilmer Andres Cabrera floats that one. Another substitution coming in now for Rio Grande Valley. As Jose Torres is going to come out, he'll be replaced by Tomas Ratondale.
You can see the frustration on the Toros. 7. Jose Torres was on his back like, what can we do to score? I mean, Murphy's on the bench now, and Dixon's on the bench, and Monterey's playing with only 10.
That's a couple times the Toros have been able to send that ball across the face. I mean, look at this. Duilio Herrera gets that right across the face of the defense, point-blank spot. And Wilmer Andres Cabrera comes sliding in and just floats it high.
I bet you he makes them about 8 out of 10 times, but it wasn't meant to be.
Saha taking his sweet time to put this one back in play. No rush as the clock keeps on ticking here. We approach the 89th minute. Contact here. That's going to carry out off of Rio Grande Valley. Another throw in coming for Monterey Bay. See Chase Boone a little slow to get back up. Jason Johnson's going to take a free kick here. Correction, Sam Glito will take it instead. Glito's going to chip that one forward. It's going to stay in for Monterey Bay. Or that one does slip out off of Chase Boone. Throw in coming now for Rio Grande Valley. Now in the 90th minute, Toros down 1-0. Should have a couple minutes of stoppage added. But time is of the essence. If you are Rio Grande Valley, you need a scoring opportunity that you can finish. Here's Herrera. Soft touch into Ruiz. Ratondale. Back to Ruiz here, looking for something he can push into the middle. 5 minutes of stoppage time will be added to this one as we are now in the 91st minute. Strike there! Look at that. Rio Grande Valley finally able to capitalize on a set opportunity there. Taylor Davila makes the most of that opportunity. Monterey Bay falls asleep for just a moment.
Matter of time. They deserve it.
Well, Davila gets his first goal of the season. We're going to end up with red cards being issued here. That's going to go against Eric Pimentel.
Unnecessary. Not smart.
That is Pimentel's second red card of the season. He had a red in the opener. Ended up having to sit out.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got it trying to do something against McRoberts, because McRoberts has frustrated everyone.
See there, the official was pointing to his head. He may have been saying that Eric Pimentel
probably did.
Bumped someone with his head. So they're going to send Pimentel off. We're also going to get another yellow. I think this is going to go on Ricky Ruiz. So a red on Pimentel, a yellow on Ruiz. We're now...
And not necessary. They just scored a goal. Why would you be upset and create some change of momentum?
See what happens here. Davila takes a really nice strike and gets it past the outstretched arms of Anthony Saija. Oh, and you see Pimentel gets mixed up there with the keeper.
And you know they're always going to defend or they're going to protect the keeper.
Number 12.
Game's not over.
Got another 1-1 draw on their hands for the Toros. Each of their first 2 games of the year ended in 1-1 draws. Remember Andres Cabrera trying to send that one forward. Got Ricky Ruiz trying to chip that one across the face. He gets it there.
I also like the goal that Davila got. He didn't panic. He took his time. He controlled the ball. Another yellow card.
Toros fans, hope you have a
cards aplenty here late in this one.
That means everyone's won a free
More cards here in the last 2-3 minutes of the game than the entire 90 minutes prior to the last 2-3 minutes of this game.
To your nearest jack box to claim your free jumbo jack.
Now in the 94th minute, this one sitting at a 1-1 draw right now. Booted out by Akwe. Here comes a throw in for Monterey Bay. Roberts on the backside, trying to move this one forward. That one does slip through. Here's Akwe. Able to break that up. Toros trying to build something here. Ricky Ruiz sends that forward. Here's Duilo Herrera. Cannot get to the edge, though. Kai Green does a nice job of beating him there. Sliding tackle by Herrera trying to challenge on the ball. Ends up leading to a foul. Throw in coming now from Monterey Bay. We are now in the 95th minute. Kai Green's going to take what's probably the last kick of this one as he sends that one deep. Foul called. Toro's going to be quick to get back to action here. This may be the last possession of this one. Christian Francois back in toward the middle. Davila. Long strike here, trying to find the middle, headed away by Monterey Bay, and they'll get some clearance here. Ricketts has it back again. He's going to try to chip. Looking for Ricky Ruiz. Here's Cabrera trying to battle through, cleared away by Roberts. And that's going to do it. As these two teams went.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's final score, Monterey Bay FC 1.
Played to a 1-1 draw in this one. These two teams went toe-to-toe. That was a very, very well-fought matchup here. Lots of credit to Monterey Bay in this one. They ended up playing one man down for about 15 minutes here in the second half. The defense stood up strong before the goal from Rio Grande Valley tied it up. There's a look at your player of the match, Hugh Roberts. He was phenomenal on that backside defensively. We talked about him quite a bit on the evening. Mario, just his ability to step up and play big in those moments and keep Rio Grande Valley from being able to move across the face of the goal.
It was incredible. I enjoyed watching him. And most of the time it was defense. Everybody loves to watch the offensive player. Reese was awesome with the ball. But Roberts, wow, he was a treat to be up here just looking at him, how he operates. He should be an all-star in my opinion.
We'll step aside for a moment. When we come back, we'll take a final look at your second half highlights and stats. You're watching USL Soccer on ESPN+.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Sábado 18 de marzo llega al Valle de Texas el duelo de acordeones. Celebrando su 30 aniversario, el grupo que vale lo que pesa. Pesado. Invasores de Nuevo León. Los Cardenales de Nuevo León. Este 18 de marzo en el Berogin Arena de Edinburgh, Texas. Consigue tus boletos en beroginarena.com. Elite Entertainment.
Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Back we are at HEB Park here in Edinburgh, Texas. Final score in this one, Rio Grande Valley and Monterey Bay play to a 1-1 draw. Let's take a look at your full game highlights and stats at the conclusion of this one. Plenty of scoring opportunities on both sides. It looked like Rio Grande Valley was going to come up just short again before a late strike here. Early on, Ricky Ruiz and Taylor Davila had themselves a couple of key opportunities, but that defense from Monterey Bay was nothing short of spectacular. Davila, another good look at a strike here. Jose Torres had a pretty good look. Just nothing slipping through. Walmo Martinez narrowly missed one right before we went to half. Wilmer Andres Cabrera a little bit wide left. This match was knotted 0-0 at the half. Second half, both teams firing on all cylinders. Monterey Bay by far the aggressor early on. And here's that goal by Alex Dixon, his 4th of the year, as he plays it past Tyler Derrick and then just cooks that one into lower corner of the net. Monterey Bay rolling up 1-0. and it took stoppage time to get Rio Grande Valley on the board. Ricky Ruiz had a pretty good look here. Davila floats that one just a little bit high. Ruiz, another good opportunity. That one floats. Looked like that was going to be the story of the match for Rio Grande Valley. Ricketts a little bit wide left. Opportunity there for Cabrera, ends up not being able to get it in. Second look for Francois doesn't finish, but then Taylor Davila in stoppage time comes through with a laser. Bottom left corner of the net, pulls this one even at 1-1, and that's where it stands after 90 minutes of play. Stats really leveled off in the second half. Toros had a pretty significant advantage heading into the second half, 63-37 in time of possession. That really shifted significantly in the second half, ends up at 58-42 in favor of Rio Grande Valley. Toros end up out shooting Monterey Bay by a pretty wide margin, 11 shots, but only 5 of those on target. Monterey Bay ends up with 6 shots, 3 of those on target. 1 each find the back of the net for the Toros and Monterey Bay. Monterey Bay now moves to 1-1-1 on the year. Rio Grande Valley is now 0-0-3. They remain undefeated. But they pick up 3 draws on this homestand. Rio Grande Valley will hit the road after this next 2. April 1st at Detroit City and April 15th against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds out in Pittsburgh. For Monterey Bay, they're heading home for 2. They'll host West Power San Antonio on the 1st and New Mexico United on April the 8th. All those games right here on ESPN+. I'd like to thank you for tuning in on behalf of the entire production crew. I'm Brian Smith and Mario Reyna here from Edinburgh, Texas. Final score, Rio Grande Valley and Monterey Bay play to a 1-1 draw here on ESPN+. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.